When I turned 40, I thought losing weight was gonna be damn near impossible. Slower metabolism, hormones, and like real life, right? I literally had all the excuses. But I've lost over 120 pounds naturally and have been able to keep it off. So today I wanna share my experience, what it was really like for me losing weight over 40. The good, the bad, and honestly, the stuff that I wish that people just would have told me sooner. Before 40, my idea of dieting was literally crash dieting and forcing my body into submission. I tried cutting carbs, I tried starving myself, committing to workouts or fitness routines that I truly just hated. I mean, I've done everything from the HCG diet, which was 500 calories, pure that with phenamine. I was on Metabolife. I was in 5th grade bringing Slim Fast to school. If there was a diet, Hollywood diet, and you were drinking stuff and spending your whole day in the bathroom, if there was a gimmick or a weight loss solution out there, you better believe I have tried it. I would love to hear what have you tried? I did the cabbage diet. I did the 48-hour diet. I did intermittent fasting for days at a time. I did the 500 calorie diet. I did the 1,000 calorie diet. I did Slim Fast. I did Stackers. I did Metabolife. I did phenamine. I did Weight Watchers. I did keto. I did low carb. Did I tell you Weight Watchers? A couple times. I did a couple of their programs. Cigarettes and coffee diet, because my grandmother said that's how women stay thin, so to drink black coffee and smoke cigarettes. So there was 15 drinking black coffee and smoking cigarettes. The black coffee never stuck. Unfortunately, the cigarettes were a lot harder to kick, but nonetheless. What have you tried? Let me know. When I hit 40, my body changed. Truthfully, I started to really notice it around 38, but 40, I was like, okay, this is what it is. My recoveries were taking longer. My energy wasn't what it was, obviously, when I was in my 20s. Plus, life was busy. Let's be real. We're working, we've had kids, we have homes, we have families, we have so many outside and inside things occurring that life just happened, right? But while life is happening, I always felt like I put weight loss and myself to the end of the bus, to the back of the bus, where, you know, everything came before me and my goals and what I wanted for myself. My family, my job, my career, everything came before me, and weight loss was just something I had hoped for throughout the chaos. I heard all about challenges after 40, but let's be real, we are not our parents' 40. I know I'm not my mom's 40. I remember when people would say 40 was over the hill and you were halfway through your life at this point and there was more years behind you than ahead of you. So I was prepared for some things, but here are the things that I probably see I know I've seen myself, and you might be seeing them currently. Number one, slower metabolism. Is it real? Yes. Is it the end of the world? No. Your body just reacts and functions differently as we get older. So how do we fix it? We start by paying attention, becoming attuned with our body, and seeing how we function and how we react to certain things. Hormonal changes. I mean, I know I've experienced them. I mean, ask Leo. But let's be real, hormonal changes. We are definitely, you know, back on that hormonal swing. You know, we're like 15 again. Your mood, your energy, your sleep, it's all connected. And I noticed right as I was knocking on 40, and especially since I've been in there now, I'm already almost 42, my sleep has changed. I noticed that my cycles are changing, whereas PMS used to be so hard for me in like my, you know, teens, 20s. But now as I'm, you know, later in life, I notice that it's mid-cycle ovulation for me that is really, really hard. And I know when to pay attention to that. My sleep has definitely been affected. I notice that I'll have, especially during ovulation, my sleep patterns are super irregular and my insomnia gets really bad. And sometimes I'm just in a bad mood. Yeah, I mean, I just sometimes have an attitude. One thing I noticed as I've gotten older, my kids have gotten older, and when they get older, I mean, you really think it's chaotic when they're little and they're toddlers, but your time and energy and your schedule really just become theirs as they get older. And I feel like it becomes even more chaotic because you cannot control the outside, right? When they're little, you keep them in the house, you can control the environment. Now they're older and everybody has something to do. Everybody needs a ride. Everybody has something after school. Everybody has something that I have to take them to, or we need to go get something for orthodontics appointments, sports things. Your time is not your own. And it's really hard to prioritize ourselves and to make sure that we are not only, you know, hitting the gym, watching our nutrition, getting adequate sleep, and resting our body when it needs to. It's really hard. It's really hard to listen to all of our internal, you know, bells, alarms, and whistles and stay attuned and, you know, listen and stop and do all those things. So, you know, we're only human and sometimes the day just wins. And then there's the mental baggage, the years and years of abusing our bodies with crazy rigorous diets and, you know, counting calories and being super just drowning in food and weight loss for years and years. If you're like me, you've been a chronic dieter pretty much probably your whole life at this point. And I feel like some of us, by the time we hit 40, we're like, this is the body that the world's gonna give. This is the body I have and this is what they're gonna get because I'm 40 now, and if I haven't gotten there by now, I ain't never gonna get there. That mindset is a slippery slope because is it harder? Yeah, it's harder. Is it impossible? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I need you guys to remember, just because we're over 40 doesn't mean our life is ending and we got one foot in the grave and the other on a banana peel. So many people barely are starting their lives in their 40s now. This is our second breath. This is that fresh breath of air that we're above, you know, we got our head above water. We made it through the 20s and 30s. Our kids are older. Take a breath. We still got a lot of living left to do. What worked for me? Here's where I'm going to be brutally honest, and it's probably not going to be what you want to hear. I didn't do anything extreme. Nothing extreme, nothing crashing, nothing that has not been done or been told to us to do before. I know, it's terrible. What worked after 40 is going to blow your mind. Because truly what worked after 40 was the opposite of what I was trying to do for the last 20 years. First thing I did was make sure I was eating enough food. Eating enough food. Are you eating enough food? Not what you think you're eating. Are you eating enough? Are you guys getting enough protein? Are you guys starving yourselves? Are you thinking you're eating a lot more than what you are? I tell you guys this all the time. You are either overeating or undereating. Your eye is the worst measurement tool. I stopped with the 1,000 calorie diets, the 500 calorie diets. I started fueling my body with food, with good, healthy, nutrient-dense food. I gave it the fuel it needed. I also think it's something I should touch on. I did take a food sensitivity test. I took it a few years ago, and if you are still struggling and you're finding that, like, you know, your eating is pretty clean, you don't know what's going wrong, it may not be how much you're eating, but it might be exactly what you are eating, and your body might be allergic to it. So if you are struggling with that, your, what is it, FHS and HFA, like your flex spending accounts for work for your insurance, they will cover it. I only paid like maybe 50 bucks out of pocket. I went through Everly, this was a few years ago, but I found out that a lot of my favorite fruits and vegetables I was having an inflammatory response to, and since I removed them, I've noticed a world of difference. I look tighter, I look less swollen, and it wasn't really weight per se, but more inflammation. Protein is so important. I made sure I have protein at every meal. We want to make sure we are feeding those muscles, and you know, they say protein helps keep you fuller longer. I don't notice a difference on any of that stuff, but that's what they say. But I will say this, just because you want a high protein diet, you still should monitor the amount of protein you're taking. If you're a 5'3" woman, you do not need to be taking in 300-400 grams of protein. I feel like protein now is like the new low carb, like high protein is a new low carb now, and everybody's finding gimmicks on how to get protein in. Getting protein in truly isn't that hard, and you do not need to eat a whole container of whipped cottage cheese. Slippery slope, guys, slippery slope. We do not need a whole whipped container of cottage cheese because calories still count even though if your protein is high. Okay, sorry, diverting. Daily movement that I enjoy. I enjoy going to the gym. Most times, don't get me wrong. Am I always excited to go? No, but there has never been a workout that I've regretted doing. Let me say that to you again. There has never, ever in this life been a workout that I have regretted doing. I've never walked out of the gym and said, God, I wish I didn't come here. God, what a waste of time. They may not be the best workouts. They may not be, I'm hitting the numbers. My enthusiasm may not, my energy is probably lacking, but I never regret showing up. Do movement that you enjoy. You're going to have to move your body, okay? Do something you like, whether it's maybe you want to be a Pilates person and be able to get one of those little reformer tables, or maybe you want to be a bodybuilder, maybe you want to do hot yoga. I don't know. Find out what you like. This is the time in your life. We are over 40 now. What do you like? What interests you? You know what? Maybe you want to do a new class and you have no one to go with. Give me a call. Are you in the Chicagoland area? I'll go with you. I don't like doing stuff by myself either, so that's why I've never tried Pilates. And also, I don't like group activities because I feel like everybody's staring at me. And low-key, I'm afraid to fart. I said it. But if you want to go, I'll go with you. Let me know. Leave me a message down below. Better sleep. Honey, the sleep that we were missing out of because we were staying out at the bars at 3, 4 a.m. Girl, I don't know about you. I was raising kids in my 20s, so that wasn't me. I was like popping bottles, but they were like, formula bottles. But like if you were popping like bottles, you gotta catch back up on them sleep. You need the memes, girl. In the 30s, you had newborns. 40s, baby, sleep. Sleep is detrimental to your health. If you are not sleeping, you are not resting, you are not growing those muscles that you are tearing down, your body will be in a complete inflammation state. Lack of sleep is just as bad. You ever see that study where they say if the person who is driving with like little sleep is just as dangerous as somebody who's driving drunk. Sleep is that important. The way it messes with your mind and your brain and the way your response time is and everything, get your sleep in. You need to sleep. I preach it to the choir. I'm trying everything. My nights that I don't sleep, if I don't sleep well, I always make sure I turn myself in early the night before. I try to catch up on it when I can, and I usually do, but get your sleep. One thing is stress management. How's your stress? Stress will do it to you. Everybody wants to blame cortisol. That's the number one thing I'm seeing on TikTok, cortisol. If you're over 40, you got a cortisol problem. I don't know. Maybe you do. Did you get it tested? I don't know. I just feel like it's real easy to always like pinpoint one thing and blame it. Like if you're 300 pounds and you're 5'1" and you're eating 6,000 calories a day, cortisol isn't the reason why you're overweight. We know what the reason is. You know what I mean? If you're finding that you are like, hey, maybe I have a hormonal imbalance, maybe my cortisol maybe I cannot manage stress. These are things that I would recommend talking to your doctor on. Another way that I manage stress in my life is I keep a pretty tight routine with my house. I feel like my house can make me I work at home, so I have to make sure I keep my home in like organized and tip-top shape, because if I feel like if my home gets crazy, then my stress goes over and it's just a mess. So I have routines and schedules that I follow for not only me, but for my kids. I do therapy sometimes twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week, depending on how my life is. Not only do I do therapy to handle a lot of my own issues, I also went into therapy to handle my issues with food and to help me recovering from disordered eating for pretty much my whole life. Family, I feel like we're at that big age now where just because they're family doesn't give everybody a free pass. If you want to talk about cutting out toxic family and what I've done to basically clean my plate of bullshit, let me know, because we could talk about it. My mom will be pissed because I'm putting our dirty laundry on the internet, but you know what? I don't care. Remember, is your mom that way? Like them old school, like don't tell our tales out of the house, Girl, I'll tell you all about it. You want to learn how to manage stress? Let me know. So you're ready, right? We're here, we're 40, we're ready. We're ready for our era of reclaiming ourselves. We got to shift our mindset. And I know that sounds like so 2025, right? If you're my age, I'm an 84 baby. If somebody would have I could imagine if somebody would have told my mom in 1996, hey, Min, it's your mindset. You got to shift it. I think my mom would have ducked him. But truly, I feel like the older we get and the more we lean into stuff and we learn about stuff, mindset is truly what sets us apart, what sets us, how people will react to different situations, you know, where some people, like, they'll get, you know, a little of inconveniencing. My dad, for example, he gets the smidgen of inconvenience and he's like, ah, you know, he's typical dad, right? You know, if you're fixing a light, do you ever see that TikTok, the dad's fixing the light and the bulb falls and he goes crazy? My dad, right? And I'm like, Dad, it's not that big of a deal. Leo, on the other hand, his mindset is super laid back, right? How is your mindset going into your 40s? The biggest change for me wasn't physical, but mental. This is when, in my late 30s, I started to really focus on my mental health, not just saying, hey, I'm unwell, because I feel like it's okay now to admit that we're a little unwell up here. And, you know, it's not such a taboo to admit that you're on maybe some SSRIs or something like that. But, like, how much deeper are you gonna go? Are you just gonna take it as, like, yes, I'm unwell and acknowledging it, and yes, I'm on medication and taking meds? Are we gonna try to fix the root of the issue? And that's what I really felt like shift for me, was digging deeper, pulling off those emotional band-aids and just saying, like, screw it, here we go. My whole life, I was chasing skinny. And, like, a skinny that I let society set for me. I let the women in my family create as a standard. Once I started approaching 40, I just wanted to be healthy and happy. And honestly, just wanted to look good naked, and I wanted to be a hot granny. That's it. And not even hot, but like a healthy granny. Like, I just didn't want, like, osteoarthritis and, like, you know, have chronic diseases. I wanted to be able to be active in my kids and my grandkids and maybe my grandkids' life, my great grandkids' lives. Once I started obsessing over quick fixes, fast, what do they call it? Fast, fad diets, and really just figured out what I can do to make it, like, not to sound corny or cliche, but a lifestyle, something that I could stick to long term. That's when I've seen the results. That's when you guys seen the results. And that's how I've been able to not only maintain them, but to achieve even better results. All while maintaining a normal relationship with food, with my family, while having a life, while still having McDonald's and a sweet treat once a week if I wanted. It's always up to me. So maybe you're not 40 and you're just finding me for the first time, or maybe you have somebody that what would I tell my younger self, right? What would I tell a younger Danielle, or maybe you're young, or would I even tell my kids? What would I tell them about being overweight and weight loss and struggling with self-love and identity and all those things? I guess if I can go back, I would tell myself, you don't have to earn your food. You're not a dog, right? Food is not a reward. Carbs aren't evil. Bread and pasta and rice will not make you fat. If you need a rest day, you're not lazy. You're not ruining your results. Your worth has absolutely nothing to do with your weight. Your worth and your weight are not tied together. I would also tell her, start strength training now. Okay, get in the gym right now, start lifting weights. Really catch up on your rest, girl, because you're really gonna miss it. Get some sleep. And the number on the scale literally is indicative of shit. If you don't need a scale, Danielle, don't get one until you're older. You don't even need it. Get a measuring tape and get a Polaroid camera. That's what I would tell 20-year-old Danielle. This is my honest experience of losing weight after 40. It's not fast, it's not perfect. It may take you a lot, it may be harder for you than it is for the next person, but I can tell you this, you can 100% do it. It is 100% attainable. If you're here and you are looking for real life weight loss results, looking to reclaim your confidence, looking at how to live life over 40, or just trying to vibe, found the right place, hit that button and subscribe. We are trying to grow. I am trying to hit 100K by the end of the year, baby. It's been 7 years. I need my plaque. I earned it. Please give me one, YouTube. Make sure you check out my last video. It is 5 toxic weight loss hacks, tips, tricks, whatever the case may be, that I would never follow again. So definitely think if you are finding yourself on your own weight loss journey, that would definitely be helpful. I have a lot of full days of eating, meal preps, you name it, from keto to low carb to just balanced eating. There is something here for everyone. I hope you stick around and subscribe. I will see you all in the next one. Take it easy. Bye, friends.